So today we're here in County Tipperary on the farm of Pat McCormack, the president of the Irish Creamery Milk Suppliers Association. We're going to be talking with him about the drought-like conditions that farmers have been experiencing over the last number of weeks. Even though it rained here today, farmers will be looking for more over the coming weeks to sort of boost grass growth rates. And we also speak to him about milk prices.
Dairy farmer Spring Cavan, obviously supplying the local co-op here, Tipperary Co-op. The bulk tank is just gone there when you were coming through the yard. Grass-based, obviously very much Spring Cavan profile, coming towards the end of the breeding season at this point in time. The bull has gone off the last 2.5 weeks. Thankfully, conception rates seem to be holding up reasonably well. I suppose the next round will tell that, because obviously they're coming under pressure now for grass. Getting tight now. I suppose fortunate enough that I first cut silage there around the 10th of May. I also cut again around the 24th, and there's a huge difference in covers there. I mean, the first cut that was cut the 10th of May will be okay to graze or to utilise next week. The crop that was cut 2 weeks later is well stunted, finding itself very, very difficult to close in. But look, we're hoping for rain this weekend in this area, West Tipperary and indeed South Tipperary. If we don't get rain this weekend, grass covers will be serious next week. And it will have a huge consequence on dairy production. But I think the forecast is positive from a rain perspective. Look, I know a number of farmers that are feeding 2019 silage. There is fodder left over. I suppose we came through a very difficult spring in 18 and the cupboards were bare. That's the one saving grace at this point in time. And, the quality that is made is extremely good. And hopefully that we do get the rain this weekend and that we'll be in a position to furnish up the stocks of silage in the second cut.
Farmers have had to go down the route of, open up bales of silage and increase concentrate supplementation. I suppose, have you been forced to do that yet?
Well, the plan then is obviously to bring back grass from outside blocks in the form of zero grazing and to supplement. Look, we had to do it in 18, we'll have to do it again if we have to, soya hulls and various other different forms of supplementation. But certainly, it's a case of hope that the weekend comes good from a wet perspective and that we'll get by. But, we've been involved as an association indeed in the conference calls on the dairy industry as regards COVID-19, and in the last number of those calls it has turned to the potential of a drought, and certainly if there isn't rain next week I think the focus will be more on droughts than COVID-19.
But milk prices have taken a tumble over the last few months. I suppose, can you give us your view on it, and also maybe what farmers might be able to expect?
They have indeed. They took a tumble for critical months. They took a tumble for the month of March. They took, obviously the consequences of that March decision were felt for April milk, and indeed follow suit. It's hugely challenging. Obviously the market has been extremely challenging with fast food outlets and various different hospitality outlets closing down for a period of time. Thankfully, they seem to be back open at this point in time, and demand seems to be good, and that was reflected in the PPI index for the month of May milk, where we've seen it increase to almost 29.75 or 29.8 cents a litre. Hopefully we'll see it, in the ICMSA AgriLand tracker, that we'll see positivity. 29 cents is the absolute minimum, but looking at that tracker, the AgriLand ICMSA tracker, there's huge differential between co-ops and processors as regards their ability to pay. And ultimately, from a farmer perspective, once it leaves the yard, it's the same thing they believe they should be getting.
Even though it rained here for the first time in a number of weeks, Pat, like so many other farmers across the country, will be hoping for more of the same over the next few weeks in order to boost grass growth rates, and also be hoping for an increase in milk prices.
I'm joined today by Superintendent Eddie Golden of the National Roads Policing Bureau of An Garda Síochána to talk about silage season and road safety for agricultural vehicles. To start off, Superintendent, are there any points of particular importance that you'd like to raise, or that tractor and machinery operators should keep in mind in particular?
Yeah, absolutely, Sylvester. Look, and thanks for the opportunity to talk about road safety. And obviously, the months of June, July, and August are the months where we're finding that there's more prevalence for the collisions are happening during those periods. When we look at the statistics, we've had 16 fatal collisions, 59 serious injury collisions, 249 non-serious in the last 5 years in around those months. So it is very important that people are aware that we are seeing far more agricultural vehicles on the road. You're right about silage season, and we featured it recently in our crime call, and I spent a day with a contractor, and we filmed a lot of, I suppose, the do's and don'ts when it comes to the road. Can I just say in general that my experience and the members of the roads policing around the country is that the people that have their machinery well and in good condition, the majority do that, including the contractors, I have to say. But after that, then we're going down to a kind of a narrow wedge of a small cohort of people who do not have their tractors or machinery fit for the road use, and where a lot of the collisions are happening, or I suppose the danger for collisions are happening. So what I mean by that is the regulations, 2016 regulations came in, and these were the revised regulations, and they were distributed extensively amongst the agricultural community, and they are the blueprint for, if you need to know what regulations they are in relation to braking, your trailers, your tractor, whatever condition they should be in. But I suppose what we're finding is that a lot of the smaller operators are not keeping their tractors in good condition. They're using them on farm, during the winter months, and then obviously there's times when they're using on the roads. Some of the areas I'd like to highlight would be the lighting. A lot of the tractors we're finding on the roads don't have proper functioning lights, front and rear. And it's something that I can understand by the nature of the work why damage can happen. But if you aren't regularly maintaining your tractor or your machinery, you're actually increasing your chance of having collisions on the road. There was a very good document produced by ourselves, the Road Safety Authority and the Health and Safety Authority, a number of years ago, and it was essential safety checks for your tractor. And now that's available online through the HSA website. And we're advising people to really reinforce that, and not only for the owners of the tractors, for the users of the tractors, to make sure that their vehicles are in good condition. So in general, I'm finding that the good are very good. And then after that, Sylvester, we're finding a cohort of people who are taking a chance on the roads. The condition of the vehicles are very poor. Can I say as well that one of the most important pieces of information, that regulation, was in relation to the flashing amber light. So any vehicle after 1980 tractor has to have a correct flashing beacon working on the road. And we're finding that a lot of farm users are not having those in serviceable condition, and they're not turning them on even if they were in a serviceable condition on the roads, and that's causing an issue. It's an offence as well, obviously, and we're looking at we're enforcing that as we go on. But again, once you go on the road, you need to click into road mode and make sure your tractor is in good condition and your flashing beacon is on. That's the first thing I'd say. Also in relation to lighting as well, if you have an implement on the back of the vehicle that's blocking the lights of the tractor, you should have a second set of auxiliary lights on the back of the implement. So whether it's a sprayer, I suppose the silage trailers themselves would have their own lights and they should be serviceable. But we are finding that particularly this time of year when we have people spraying manure, certain big manure spreaders may not have the lights on the back, and particularly, okay, we've good conditions all the way through, maybe into the 8, 9, 10 o'clock. However, you should have your working lights on, the driving lights on when you're on the road itself. There's one other area as well. It's the use of mobile phones while driving. It is an offence, and we're finding that a lot of at the moment, use of tractors on the road, we're finding tractor drivers in particular are using their mobile phones while driving. Now, the concentration needed to control a big, large vehicle like that, it's not conducive to any type of distraction. And I'm asking that particularly employers, if they have somebody working for them who has a propensity to be on the mobile phone, intervene and make it a rule that phone should not be used while driving.
Would you find secure loads, would that be an issue as well?
It's definitely something that we are finding, that particularly with bale trailers at this time of year, a lot of people are moving silage bales, and I think there's a feeling out there that there's nothing to worry about because the silage bale is heavy and it won't fall off the trailer. But once you're on the main road with those trailers and with silage bales, they have to be secured correctly and strapped down correctly. It is an offence to be on the road when they're not strapped down. And I'm asking again for people to be responsible in this area and don't take chances when it comes to load securing. The other area that I've seen is that people are pulling out trailers which are not fit for use on the road. They're old bale trailers. They don't meet any type of regulations. I talked about the 2016 regulations. And, there's no place for those on the open road now. And if it is a thing that you need bales moved, get a contractor to do it. Get somebody that has a trailer that's in good condition. And some of the more modern trailers have some on themselves now to actually clamp the bales down. I've seen the more modern version of them. But it is very important that your equipment is fit for purpose.
Are there any areas in particular of caution or of particular danger on the roads, like on the crest of hills, or would it, I suppose, just be across the board?
Once you start moving in and out of fields, we've been very fortunate with the weather at the moment. But once you start doing that, you need to have proper signage. You need to give the motorists advance warning that there's the possibility of vehicles moving out and in from fields. Also, we've been looking, I suppose, lucky or unlucky, I'm sure the farmers are praying for rain at the moment. But once the wet weather comes in, pulling muck onto the roads, that all causes hazards for motorcyclists. And I'm asking again that, that has to be very closely monitored. And somebody needs to take responsibility for those hazards, particularly if it's muck being pulled onto the roadway. And again, take the necessary precautions and do the right thing. The other area which has been very, I suppose, much in the media is the use of social media and uploading to social media. Can I say that in relation to this, I'm not going to pigeonhole any particular group at this, but obviously there's a prevalence among the younger age groups that are more used to uploading to social media. But any type of uploading while driving a machine, whether it's on the field or on the road, takes away from the job in hand, increases the dangers associated with both farm accidents. And if we look at our farm accidents this year, they are up. If we look at our possibility of having more collisions on the road, the risk is up again. And the more times I see those videos being posted to social media, it does concern me. On behalf of Garda Síochána, we will enforce the Road Traffic Act to the fullest extent with anybody we find either uploading those videos or driving while using the mobile phone or maybe posting social media.
And have you any further comments you'd like to add, Superintendents?
Everybody has a part to play when it comes to road safety. I appreciate that it's a busy time for all work along the farm, but again, we need to do the right thing at the right times. Please, I'm asking people to make their machineries in good condition, to make sure that they monitor who's using their machinery and make sure that they're not taking part in behaviour which could lead to a collision on the roads. And I'm also asking for members of the public, whether it's motorcyclists, cyclists, car drivers, truck drivers, whoever it may be, to be aware that this is a busy time, an important time for agricultural life on the farm. And you will find more prevalence of those vehicles along the road. And when you do something, to slow down, look for the flashing beacon. And again, if you just take a little bit of speed off, it'll make everything safer for everybody as we move into the winter months.
And that important message, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Superintendent.
Thank you.